What's up guys, I'm Dave Klein, aka DaveControl, and I was fortunate enough to get a hands-on experience with Elden Ring. I was able to play the first roughly 7 hours of the game, and even went beyond where the network test ended, so I wanted to make a video about 12 interesting things I learned. I think it's going to go without saying that there will be slight spoilers, but like you, I know there are things I would hate if they were spoiled for me, so I'm going to do my best to avoid anything like that. Bandai Namco has been slowly revealing the starting classes of Elden Ring. The current ones available as of my time with the game were Vagabond, Warrior, Hero, Bandit, Astrologer, Prophet, Samurai, Prisoner, Confessor, and Wretch, with Wretch being the level 1 build. But just like any prior Soulsborne game, your starting class is just that. If you don't like your stats, every level up is a chance to build your character in another direction, like adding more strength to go full-on strength build, or adding various magic stats if you want to use some spells. Every Soulsborne game has had a rest area where NPCs gather and you can feel a little bit of safety. The Round Table Hold is Elden Ring's version of this, and it isn't immediately available to the player. But once you do gain access to it, similar to the hub of other games, NPCs will wander in and out of the area, with certain parts of the Round Table Hold being closed off until an event opens up more places you can access. As far as I can tell, this hub is completely unreachable without warping, but who knows if that will change. Through the network test, we discovered that Estus flasks worked similarly to Dark Souls 3. You'll have an HP recovery Estus flask and an FP recovery Estus flask, with FP being focus points or the way you can utilize magic and weapon arts. Again, like Dark Souls 3, you'll have a total number of Estus uses that you can delegate between the two however you like, and in whatever way is best for your build. You'll also be able to upgrade your Estus flasks, which will be extremely useful as you reach more challenging areas. The way to do this is with various seeds you'll find throughout the game. Golden seeds are your way to upgrade the number of flask uses you have, and you can find golden seeds a number of different ways. While you're probably familiar with the massive Erd trees from the Elden Ring trailer, there are various sized Erd trees, with tiny ones having golden seeds underneath them when you first find them. Additionally, there are other ways to get your hands on golden seeds, including NPC questlines. As you level up your Estus flask, you'll slowly need a larger number of golden seeds for later upgrades. In order to upgrade the strength of your Estus flask, and just how much it heals you, you'll need another kind of seed. These seeds can be found at various churches. If you've seen footage of the network test, you'll know about the Church of Dragon Communion players were able to find. There are many other kinds of churches, and this is where I was able to find this kind of seed in my experience. That said, there may be other places to find them. This is just what I was able to find in my short playthrough. One of the critiques of Elden Ring has been the game's spirit ashes. There are various spirit allies you can summon to aid you in battle. The critique mainly comes from the network test and feeling like these spirits were too powerful. However, in the build I played, there were a number of ways their power was offset. We learned from the network test that, for one, you can only summon these spirits in special marked areas, and they aren't available anytime you want. For example, I don't believe I was able to summon them in the game's Everjails. Additionally, and this is probably the most important point, the spirits start off relatively weak. They'll also cost a different amount of FP to summon, and I found a higher powered spirit that I didn't have enough FP to summon in my time playing the game. You can, however, level up your spirit ashes, similar to how you would upgrade a weapon. In order to do so, you'll need to find a spirit tuner who will take grave gloveworts you can find that, as you'd imagine, work just like a blacksmith upgrading your weapons with smithing stones. While I didn't specifically find ways to upgrade armor in my short time playing, there was a sewing kit I found in the game which allows you to customize your armor. It was hard for me to tell if this was purely cosmetic or if there were genuine stat differences, but it's something to keep in mind and keep an eye out for. I also found a painting that you could not only look at, but collect. I have no idea what the purpose is, or if it's going to be something like what we've seen from Dark Souls 1 or 3, but it's definitely an interesting new feature. Elden Ring definitely still has items that are related to PvP. I found a couple mirrors which let you alter your appearance in minor ways in order to trick invaders into attempting to kill the wrong player. One of my personal concerns in playing the Elden Ring network test was that, outside of the legacy dungeons, all of the other dungeons felt pretty barren and small. They felt a little more like mini chalice dungeons than other areas we've come to know in FromSoftware games. That said, in playing the full build of the game, I stumbled upon a far larger dungeon that wasn't considered a legacy dungeon. It helped show that there will be a wide variety of dungeon sizes you'll find in Elden Ring, from larger to medium-sized and absolutely tiny mini dungeons. Additionally, all of these dungeons had unique bosses with interesting loot to find, so FromSoftware is definitely making exploration a worthwhile venture in Elden Ring. And speaking of dungeons, let's talk about legacy dungeons. I had the opportunity to play through Stormveil, and while I'm absolutely certain I didn't see all of it, I was able to make it through Godrick and get a good feel of the overall area. Stormveil is massive in scope and has plenty of different wraparounds and interesting areas to explore. As you're not allowed to use Torrent, your spectral steed, in dungeons, it truly felt like a classic FromSoftware experience. If I were to compare it to anything, think of it like Demon Souls. Imagine that you have Boletaria, Latria, and the rest of the areas all available in the game. However, instead of needing to return to a hub to access these areas, the full map of the realm is yours to explore, and you'll stumble across Boletaria, you'll stumble across Latria. Size and scope-wise, it's hard to tell just how large all of the legacy dungeons will be, so I honestly can't tell you if the areas will be more akin to the Cathedral of the Deep or Irithyll the Boreal Valley in size, or something as large in scale as Boletaria or Latria. Going back to Dark Souls 2, there were unique items in that game called Ferris's Lockstones. These lockstones unlocked special areas that had special goodies hidden away. They were one-time use, so it was up to you to find more of these lockstones so you could unlock every hidden area. Elden Ring has an item that works in the exact same way called a STONESWORD key. There's plenty of variety in what's behind these keys, including locked away Everjails, areas with hidden treasures, and even dungeons. Something interesting and brand new to Elden Ring was the way in which you seem to unlock the game's accessories, or charms. While you start the game with one of these slots, after defeating a certain boss, just by defeating that boss, I automatically unlocked one of these slots. I can't say for certain how many slots you'll gain, or if this is how every slot will be unlocked, but it's definitely an interesting change that's worth noting. The lore of the game that has been revealed to us has made it clear how important Great Runes are to the story. In fact, the way you level up in the game is by finding basic runes. They act like your souls or blood echoes from Soulsborne games in being both your form of currency and way to level up. Like those games, you'll gain them for defeating enemies or finding special items that will give you runes for using them. Great Runes, on the other hand, are unique equipable items you'll be able to find that grant you specific blessings and abilities. I don't want to ruin which I found or what it did, but it's an interesting thing to note. Once you make it outside of the tutorial area and into Limgrave, the world truly is your oyster. There are definitely smarter and easier paths the game pushes you into taking, but you can seemingly go wherever you want right away. It's a refreshing and different experience, and as exploration seems to be well handled in Elden Ring, it's certainly shaping up to be a game that will be incredible to explore. And there you have 12 things I learned playing Elden Ring. I hope you learned something that interested you, and I answered some questions you might have. February 25th cannot come soon enough, and I can't wait to see all you lowly tarnished soon.